Today we are going to find more missing numbers, but we are going to be using a new strategy. Before we start with this new strategy, we are going to practice counting by tens and seeing what patterns we notice on the chart. So let's start counting by tens from 10. So here's my 10. I'm just going to click on it so it changes colors, and let's count up by tens. 10 plus another row of 10 is 20. Plus another row is 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So take a moment to think about, what do you notice happened when we counted by tens starting from 10? We noticed that when we count by tens on a hundreds chart, all of the next tens are in the same column. Remember, columns go up and down. So these tens are in the same column. We also see that there's always a 0 in the ones place, right? Because there are no leftover ones. And we also see that if we go down the column, the tens place goes up by 1 each time. It just counts up, right? Here's 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, and it keeps going up all the way until we get to 10 tens, which is 100. So now let's see what happens when we start counting by tens from another number. So this time I'm going to start with the number 4. And we are going to count 10 more squares, right? So here's 4, and we're going to count 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to my next row. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So 4 and 10 more is 14, right? I'm going to count another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 14 plus 10 more is 24. Let's keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, can you predict what is going to happen if we add another 10 blocks? If you think that it's going to land on the next number underneath, okay, let's check. So start at 34 and add 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It did land on 44. And this pattern is actually going to keep going if we add by tens all the way down the row. So let's see what other patterns we notice here. So I'll give you a moment to look at it and see what patterns you notice. So maybe you notice that there's always a 4 in the ones place when you go down this column. Each time we added 10 more, this 4 stayed the same, right? There's always 4 leftover ones. We also see that this, starting from 14, the tens place always goes up by 1, right? So we have 1 10 and 4, 2 10 and 4, 3 tens and 4, 4 tens and 4, 5 tens and 4, and it just keeps going on, right? So now let's use the patterns that we found to figure out what our missing numbers are. So let's start with the missing number on the top here. And let's look at the column that it's in. Remember, if the numbers are in the same column, that means that we counted by tens, right, to get to the number in the next column. So let's see what we notice in this column. There are 6s in the ones place all the way down. So we know that there's going to be a 6 in the ones place of our missing number. Now we have to figure out what's in the tens place, right? How many tens do we have? Let's go down the column, and remember we can count by tens. So we have 6, 10 more is 1 10 and 6, so that's 16. Then we have 2 tens and 6, that's 26. Now we're going to have 3 tens. That's what comes next, right? So this number will be 3 tens and 6. Let's check. That number would be 36. Click the wrong one. Here we go. All right, 36. So let's do the next missing number, right? And let's look at the column again. Let's see what we notice in the column. There are 4s all the way down in the ones place. So we know that this is going to have 4 in the ones place. And now let's look and see how many tens we are going to have. Last time I counted to see how many tens I'm going to have. I can also look to see what row of tens I am in. I am in the 50s or 5 tens, so I know that this is going to have 4 in the ones place and 5 tens. So 5 tens and 4 is 54. Our last missing number is in this column, and I see that there's an 8 in the ones place, right? And I know, let's see, I'm going to count on from how many tens I have. So the number above it has 6 tens and 8 ones. So I know that after 6 tens is going to be 7 tens. That also matches my row, my 70s row. And I think it's going to have 7 tens and 8 ones. So that would be 78. All right, so after this, now you can use this strategy of looking at the patterns in the columns and the rows to find missing numbers.